Hi, I'm Will Friedle, and welcome back to Painters Guild. Well, we are getting into it now. If you've been watching us, we've been kind of building up our skills again. We are doing what I have to call an absolute masterclass this week. We're doing just a mini part of a mini. Oh man, this is gonna be fun. So this week should certainly be interesting. We are really kicking it up a notch when it comes to technique. This is gonna be very detail oriented. So we're gonna be using wet palette. We're gonna be doing some stuff we've never done before, but we're gonna need a serious teacher to teach us serious techniques. So please help me welcome Cullen Knappen. What's up, man? How are you?
All right, how are you?
Good. Have a seat. Thanks for coming to the show.
Thank you.
So I am going to frustrate the hell out of you this week. I hope you don't mind.
Not at all.
So walk me through, first of all, what we're planning on doing, some of the techniques.
Basically, we're going to go some highlight shade with wet blending, kind of kick your miniature up a notch and make it looking really good.
Okay.
And just really stand out.
Make it pop. We keep hearing about the word pop. It's very, the mini pop. Which
the
is,
mini pop, but it's a more of a subtle thing. So when you're doing,
so it's not a pop, it's a pop.
Exactly.
Okay, gotcha. That's a good
So
thing.
more of a studio style. So when you're looking up close, instead of 5 feet away, you're looking at about a foot away, and you're like, oh, wow, that's an awesome mini.
Okay, wow, we're going crazy this week. All right, so this should be fun and exciting and probably really frustrating, so I can't wait. Yeah. Let's take a look at some of the stuff you brought today. I'm going right to the blue.
All right, sounds good.
Because these look, wow, jeez. So tell me about this guy and or gal right here.
So that's a Games Workshop Space Marine. It's a new line that they've come out, the Primaris. He's painted in the ultramarine color, but if you can see, there's subtle lighting in the highlights and base color and the shading. And if you look really closely, there's some battle damage you can see on it as well. So.
We're gonna get into battle damage too later, aren't we?
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
So we're gonna make our mini look awesome, and then we're gonna try to make it look ruined a little bit?
Yeah, exactly.
Sweet. The techniques to ruin a mini now we're learning, which is
well,
awesome.
you know, you have to know a technique, because if you do it too much, it ruins it.
So okay, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
Now this was the other one I was looking at before, which is just so
that's
unbelievably detailed.
A Poxwalker, again from Games Workshop, their new line. He's a Nurgle space zombie.
Okay, a Nurgle space zombie, like you do.
Yeah. So there's a lot of different techniques on there, highlight and shade, but there's also a gloss finishes on like the guts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so there's a different kind of techniques that were involved.
Crazy detail. Let's try one more here. How about this guy here?
So that's Duroc from Infinity, and he's a sci-fi werewolf that has a sword.
And a backpack.
And a backpack.
Aren't you just dying to know what's in the backpack? That's all I think about, is just what's in the backpack. Very cool. All right, well, we could sit here and look at these all day. I know I could, because the detail's incredible. But I want to get in and try to learn some stuff. So,
all right, sounds
you ready?
Good. Yeah.
All right, let's mock up. Okay, so this is going to be a fun, interesting, and possibly frustrating episode for you, Cullen, because you're going to have to teach me. We are going with some creme de la creme kind of stuff, so I will undoubtedly suck at it. But we're going to try, and to make sure that we're not ruining these beautiful minis, first, we're going to go over a little bit of the technique before we even begin. One of the things we're going to be doing is using a wet palette, right?
Right.
So walk me through this.
So basically, a wet palette is just a way to keep your acrylic fresh and new. It extends the life of the paints.
Okay.
On the palette itself.
Okay. And so, do we mix on here?
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
You mix everything right on here.
Yeah. So you start off with your base color, and then you go into your shades and then your highlights.
Is this the base color we use today?
Yeah.
The Signar blue base.
Yep.
From P3.
Yep. And so what I try to do is then I go down into a shade, which is we have coal black, and then we go up into our highlights, arcane blue and frostbite.
And so all of these are going to be on the wet palette.
Yeah. And then on top of that, you have black.
Okay.
And white.
Okay.
So you can even push those shades and highlights to their extreme.
Okay. So, the other thing that's going to be different this week is, I'm not joking when I say we're getting crazy. We're going mini with the mini. Is we're going to be using these for the first time ever. Yes. We are going to, I can see right through the camera to you watching at home.
Oh, hi.
Now, see, to you, this brings the mini nice and close.
Right,
to
right.
me, it's just absolutely going to highlight all of my mistakes.
Yeah. But it makes you a better painter. So
And a worse driver.
A worse driver.
Yes.
I would not recommend this
Yes,
driving.
no,
because
this would be strange.
Bad things will happen.
Yeah, you're just a giant head in front of me right now.
Yeah.
That's all you are.
You're giant eyes.
See, there you go. Just a big old head. That's very funny. You look like a bobblehead right now.
Yeah.
I could do this all day.
I can put on my seat.
See, there you go. Dueling bobbleheads. Oh, your hand was huge. All right, so this is going to be a heck of a lot of fun. And again, you wear these to highlight your mistakes, to fix them. It's just going to highlight my mistakes. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I guess, should we do a very quick lesson on how to mix on the wet palette?
Yeah. So basically, what you do is you just pretty much get whatever paintbrush that you're using.
Do you have a recommendation?
The bigger the paintbrush, the more coverage you get on the miniature.
So I've got the work hobby brush. Is that where we'd start? Something like that?
Yeah, that's perfect. So basically, what you do is you just take your base color.
Okay.
Well, you shake it up first. Always shake your paints.
Shake the paint. Always shake the paint.
Yeah. And then just put a dab right in the middle.
Okay. So wait, I got my splotch right here in the center.
Yep.
Is that good?
Yep. And then you put your
Which one did you grab there?
the darker shade, so the coal black.
The coal black. Alrighty.
And then you just put it next to it.
Oh wait, I didn't shake.
Always shake.
Shake it like a Polaroid picture. There we go. All right. Put it next to it.
And then you get your first highlight,
First
which is
highlight,
the
which
arcane
is going
blue.
to be the arcane blue. There you go. Well, I got to be honest with you. So far, this is pretty easy.
Yeah, this is the easy part.
I'm not intimidated at all yet.
Well, the point of this is to get all your colors out in front of you. And because it's on a wet palette, you don't have to worry about it drying out.
So we can just keep them there, and it's going to keep it wet the entire
I
time.
have my wet palette, I have paints there for weeks.
And they'll stay wet the entire time.
They'll stay wet the whole entire time.
Are we doing frostbite?
Yep, frostbite. The final highlight.
So far, mine looks just as good as yours, if I'm honest.
Wait until you start mixing.
I know, well, I was kidding. This is the only part that's gonna look the same all day long. Right now, our stuff looks similar. We should just end, and that's the end of this episode of Painters Guild. Thank you for watching.
And last but not least, you have your black and whites. And what you do with the black and white is you mix these colors into these other colors to tone them down or
make them pop more.
Make them pop. Yes. Exactly.
Now, do you have to continually wet the wet palette?
Nope. So the whole point is underneath the wet palette itself is a sponge.
Oh, okay.
That is damp. And then the parchment paper that's on top of here brings up the moisture from the sponge itself through the paper into the paint.
Jeez, that's great.
So and that's why
black. There we go. Alrighty.
Now from here, then when you start mixing these together, you add water to it.
Okay.
So you're working in the thin layers and building up or building down into your shadows. So
okay.
You take your base and then your shadow.
So the black, okay.
And then you can mix that in there. Your first highlight.
And do you want to put water on it every single time?
Yeah. The thinner the paint that you have, the more detail you get out of the paint. So you're trying not to cover the detail on it.
Okay.
Yeah. So essentially, as you look at it, you can see that you're starting from a really dark color, and you're working up into your base color, and then into your highlights, and then into your extreme highlights.
I could just do this. Yeah. This could just be our lesson for the day, is awesome watercolors. Just sign the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay, well, now that we've figured out how to use our wet palette and how to do some mixing, I think this is a good time to cut to Mr. Brian Merlongi and a pro tip. Take it away, Bri.
I got you, Will. All right, so we've got some edges to highlight, but your hands are shaky. The best way to do this, it's actually a very little known secret, is just to take the paintbrush, turn it sideways, that's the key, and rake it along the edge of any area that you want to highlight. And without even trying, your highlights are done. Now you try that, Will.
Thanks, Brian. It was nice for you to teach everybody else that, but obviously, I already knew what you were talking about. So we are jumping right back into it here. We got the minis with us. We're doing some heavy, high detailing stuff now. What do we do?
All right. So first of all, what we're starting off is a base coat.
Okay.
Which I've already done. I've already done some shadow and some highlight, and that's just the overall step one.
Okay.
So now what we're going to do now is we're going to take it up a notch, and we're going to have things pop out. Okay. So certain aspects of the
famous pop.
The famous pop.
Okay.
So one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to have the shoulder guard pop out. We're going to have this pop out. We're going to do this highlight edge over the mini, and then we're going to probably work in this area on the helmet.
Okay, so seriously, no joke, folks. We're going to spend the next episode or two on a very select portion of the mini. We're not even going to do an entire mini. That's how much detailing we're going to concentrate on. So, slightly nervous.
Yeah. Well, for the whole mini and in this kind of approach, it takes about 15 to 20 hours.
15 to 20, okay.
Yeah.
We won't do that. We will concentrate on one very small aspect and make sure you get it perfect and I get it. Do we goggle up? Is there a whole separate section now? Do we goggle up now? Is that?
Yeah.
Wow. Excited. Here we go.
All right.
We're getting real.
Just get your normal, whatever brush that you like and feel comfortable with. That's pretty much.
I'm getting used to actually seeing with these. There we go. That's better. Now, when you say comfortable with, we're still going detail size though, right?
You can do detail.
I shouldn't start with this.
No, not at all.
Alrighty.
Okay, one of the things we're going to start on doing a shading down at the bottom along this edge right here.
Okay.
All the way around.
But we're not painting the entire thing. We're
No.
literally just, wow, okay.
So basically, because we've watered down our paint, so we're going to be working in a kind of thin layers. So it's not going to, we're not gooping it on.
Okay.
We're going to be
Good at
putting our
gooping.
water in, we're going to put our brushes in water, and then we're just going to kind of mix it in there. It's kind of a wet blend. This is why we have all of our colors on there.
Okay, what I'm calling the blue W.
Yeah, the blue W.
Okay.
And basically, because we have that, we can go in between all these colors at any time.
Just bop back and forth between
Exactly.
a range of blue. Okay,
And
that's
so
cool.
then basically what you're doing is you're just building on what you've already done, and you're kind of blending all the colors together.
Okay, I'm gonna watch you first.
So basically, the dark colors, you know, put some black in there. Put my goggles on.
He's goggling it.
So basically, just going along the edge.
Now, do you want to hit all the way along the bottom there?
You can.
But you want to stay kind of above the ridge if you
Yep.
can.
Yep. So good luck with that.
Good luck, good luck. So good luck with that, he says. Okay, the paint looks huge to me here. Here we go. And now are you hitting the water every time?
Yeah. You keep your paintbrush pretty moist.
Oh man, it's so different when you are done like, when it's done like this.
It's a little learning curve when you're
little
doing,
learning
Yeah,
curve.
just a little bit. Don't worry about it. And because we're kind of making this more realistic, we're not really going really neat, meaning
well,
that
thank
we don't
God for that.
need a perfect blend.
Oh, this is so horribly nerve-wracking. and now I can see all of the little detail that I'm screwing up, I'm sure.
One of the things you have to think about that, you know, the story of the miniature itself is this is the dark future. These are all battle damaged. You know, they've been in war, they've been beat up.
Okay.
And so you're kind of thinking, hey, you know, what will this look like if it was in a battle or it's been used over centuries or a millennia?
Is this what we're supposed to be doing?
Not quite. But you're getting there.
Not quite. So what are we supposed to be doing?
So basically, what you want to start is adding your different colors and working out your way up to the highlight. So you have your darker color.
Right.
Then you
This is
go
where I
up to
started.
your the blue, the lighter blue.
This one?
Yep.
Okay, do
And
I
then
mix them?
and then mix them.
Okay.
And then go into your blue.
Okay.
And then go into your lighter blue, and you just
In
work
here?
your way up
Okay.
to.
So what is it
beforehand.
supposed to look like?
So basically, if you see right here,
Oh yeah, it looks way different than mine.
yeah.
Oh, it looks like we're doing two different things. I'm like painting lines, and I'm not supposed to be
No,
doing that.
don't paint lines.
Okay.
Don't paint lines. Just kind of, like I said, you slather it on a little bit. And then you get your other colors, and you start working your way up into a highlight stage.
Okay, so that's not at all
from the
what I was
darker
doing.
to the lighter.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I didn't do that even a little bit.
yeah.
No. All right. So, well, we're starting well.
Yeah, well,
So is
you
there a
know,
way to take this down then to kind of start
Yeah,
over?
just start with your blue.
The original blue.
The original blue.
And I can kind of paint over it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But it's also battle damaged.
Yeah. So, or
I
it's
keep
not
telling
necessarily
myself.
battle damage. It's wear and tear of.
Right.
If you look at older paint in the real world, it doesn't look perfect. So
Well, the battle damage that this guy sustained, though, was for some reason the guy shot him with this new kind of gun that puts a dark black line just right on his shoulder blade.
that can happen.
Yeah, they call it the black line shoulder gun. It's the future is a dangerous place, Colin.
Well, the thing about miniature painting and the games in general is it's all about your imagination and how that works.
Well, that I have working.
So,
One thing we did forget to do was name our minis.
what do you want to name? With Space Marines, it has to be like some Roman name.
Does
Like,
it have to?
Yeah, they always name their some kind of Roman lamb like Galactus.
Oh yeah, that's why this guy was always made fun of. He was Silas Kenilworth.
That works.
And that was the
like
problem.
that.
Yeah, his father was a sock maker. Yeah, from right outside of Prague. So Silas had a tough life growing up.
Yeah,
not easy.
Exactly.
And he had this dark shoulder patch. So I did this to start over, which is too dark.
So see how it's really wet there?
Yeah.
Start at putting your lighter color tones in there.
Like here?
Yep.
Do the whole thing like that, or?
No, just kind of dab it on there.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
We're bringing out the highlights and making it pop, but we're also dirtying it up a little bit just to create character in it.
Okay.
So you're kind of creating the story of the miniature.
For those of us who don't yet have technique, it's not about the story yet.
True. Very
It's
true.
about why does his shoulder not look good? But we're getting there. We're getting there. The wet palette is certainly an interesting way to go, because you are just kind of jumping through colors very quickly. Like, what about something like that?
Yep, perfect. And then you just put like a little bit more blue in there.
This blue or this blue?
That blue right there.
This one.
Yeah. Just dab it on there and start spreading it around. You're still thinking of your highlights in your
See,
shadows.
that's one of the problems I'm having is
Okay.
getting into the mindset of thinking about highlights.
Think of the sun always up here.
Okay.
When the sun is coming down, it's going to be this area, this area, this area, this
Right.
area,
The
this
hot
area.
spots.
All this right here is all going to be in highlight.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be perfect.
Right. Well, that's, again, my only saving grace.
The other thing to do, and a good useful tool, and a lot of people don't get it, use your thumb, and I take the excess away from the actual paintbrush itself. So you're not pitting that much paint
Right.
on. It's just a little bit at a time.
Is that better?
Yeah, so then basically what you're doing is just pitting a little on there, and then right in this area.
Okay. So just go lighter,
Yep.
but not a lot.
No, just a little bit, just a little bit. You don't have to do that much. It's implied. So the highlights and shadows are implied.
Is that better then with a little light?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
All right, cool. So how do we move on from this section, or when do you know? That's another question. Is it just feel when you know you're done?
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it's almost like if you've ever done an oil painting or an acrylic painting.
Let's say for the sake of argument, I've never done that.
Okay.
Then what?
Then what you're doing is fine.
Then what you're doing is fine. Then you're good.
It's taken me a long time to do this.
Yeah. Do you
to get to
paint?
this
You paint
point.
on canvas too?
Yes, I do.
So make me feel good. How long have you been doing it?
About 20 years.
Okay, good. I feel great. I feel great. That's awesome. Okay. So wait, now you've moved on to other things?
Are
you edge highlighting now?
Yep,
What?
edge highlighting.
Okay. Looks like you're hitting the helmet a little bit. Mm-hmm. I guess I'm not to the point of being able to look at a mini and see highlights yet.
Yeah.
I look at a mini and see aggravation. But that's why we're learning.
Yep.
That's
exactly.
the point. I gotta be honest, I'm not even really using these.
I use them because I'm old, so.
I don't think you're old. Come on.
There's a certain age where you get to and you're like, I can't see that anymore.
Yeah, I think I'm there, unfortunately, but.
Let me see. Yeah. You get there.
Yeah, okay.
You'll get it.
One day you'll be like,
yes, all it is just practice.
Okay.
All it is just going back and forth.
Okay.
And building on what you already have learned and applying more techniques to it.
Very, might be the most important lesson we've had in the entire run of the show. Practice, practice, practice. Don't give up, don't get frustrated, and maybe you can find your artistic soul.
Exactly.
I think is kind of cool. Mine is not in this light source though, 'cause still haven't found mine. Still looking. Still got the Goonies map, and I can't get over the bridge.
It'll be there.
All right, we're getting there eventually.
I'm
So-
sure now you can see why this takes a long time.
That's the thing that's amazing is I feel like we've been here for a while and we're still kind of on the.
Same thing.
But that's the way it's supposed to be,
Yeah,
right? I mean,
yeah.
that's when you get into the fine detailing stuff. That's how it goes.
Yep.
You're gonna spend an entire night working on an arm,
Exactly.
and that's how it goes. I still look like yours looks like it's part of the armor. Mine looks like it's paint. That's the difference. But we're getting there.
Yeah.
Can't get frustrated. We're getting there.
But you can also see as you work on your edges and stuff, the details start to come out.
Can you check my work?
So basically, Of course, here you already have your highlights on there. From there, you want to put your, you'll have some blues. And just get a light little thing, and you just kind of blend it in a little bit. Kind of along that hard edge. If you see hard edges, just kind of spot it a little bit.
Okay.
Here you see you're already starting to get to that point right here.
With a hard edge.
With a hard edge. Okay. And you just dab it on there, you just kind of feather it on there, and it kind of starts to blend the colors. I'm not smooth. I'm just kind of dabbing it on there.
Yeah, you're not doing paint strokes, really.
No, because I know, I've already thought of the story in the miniature itself. And I know that this guy's been beat up. He's been in thousands and thousands of battles. The paint on the miniature is not going to look good.
Yeah. Well,
so you imply the highlight. And you're just going back and forth. Don't worry about making it a smooth transition. You're just implying the transition.
I love that, implying the transition.
So as you can see.
Can I check your work?
Yeah.
Let's see. See now this part here, it's perfect. Everything about it's perfect. So that's what it should look like, and that's what it does look like.
So another technique that you can also use is you can use, a shade or a ink.
Yeah. Love inks.
Yeah,
they're
good.
I do. I love talent in a can. I am a big fan of the talent in a can.
And what you can do is you can get some of that.
The Nightshade.
The Nightshade.
Okay.
Thank you.
The Citadel Nightshade.
I put it on my wet palette if I need to, and add it a little water.
So wet palette and water, really water it down.
Yeah. So basically, I'm taking the shade and kind of just going into my dark spots. But because I've watered it down, I'm not glopping it on.
Right.
It's kind of helping the transition happen.
But you're only doing the dark spots. You're not covering the entire area.
No. The other thing I also use is, and it might help as well, I have some Flow Aid. And this is a medium that you put into acrylic.
Flow Aid, okay, this is new on the show.
Yep, and you can put this into the actual paint itself to help it flow better.
Now I have to ask you, is this a real thing or did you make this up?
No, it's a real thing.
Written, Flow Aid, I'm guessing in your handwriting.
Yep.
So I'm making sure this is actually a thing and it's not you going like, yeah, I made something up.
Yeah, it's a mixing medium that you put in acrylic paints that allow the actual paint to flow better. It's thinning the paint, but it's in a way that you're not separating the pigment in the paint.
Okay.
So
you're not just watering it down?
No.
Okay.
So,
do you use this a lot?
Yeah, so basically one of the
tool?
things I do is I just put it on my wet palette in a corner where I add it to the paint itself, and you can just dab a little bit into it to the paint to make it run a little better.
All right, so what are you working on now?
So basically I'm just trying to get into the helmet part, the detail.
I feel like I'm just pushing paint around at this point, trying to get it down. But man, this is a tough one.
It's a hard process. It's not easy.
This is certainly a tough one.
But I think the fun part of it is trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like I've already made some strides in seeing like, oh, that's why that goes there.
Yeah.
But I'm going to win Crystal Brush next year. No, I'm going to go to the Crystal Brush next year. That's what it was.
Yeah, you see those paint jobs and you'll be floored.
I've worked with a number of Crystal Brush Award winners. They're all phenomenal. They're all great teachers.
Okay.
I'd have to put you up there with them, though.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Maybe I could sponsor you.
Oh.
Like Rocky.
I like that.
And I'd be in your corner. You'd be like, cut me, Will. And I'd be like, I can't. Like that kind of thing. It'd be great. You got like your goggles on. Like, I can't see. That'd be awesome.
I get my fight face on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what exactly are you doing now?
I'm just doing the detail in the helmet.
Are you doing light blue or are you doing what? I'm trying to keep up and it's next to impossible with this stuff here.
Like I said, you're just working back and forth. There's no rhyme and reason to this way of painting.
It seems a lot of this technique as opposed to other techniques we've learned, a lot of it is less paint.
Yep.
Less paint
is more.
Less paint.
Yep.
Just it's almost about the same amount of paint as dry brushing, but you're edging with.
Yep.
Strange.
So from this point forward, we're going to go into kind of scratching and the wear and tear of the armor even more. So again, this goes more into your storytelling. Where has this miniature been? What has it been through?
That sounds like a pretty good place to end for today then.
Yep.
Yeah, you heard that right. It's so intricate right now that we've spent an entire episode doing the smallest part of an already tiny figure. And we're not even close to being done, but it's a perfect place to wrap up for the day. Please come back for the next episode when we do just a little bit more. Again, both episodes we're gonna be doing an arm, part of the helmet, and then I think we're gonna do some battle damage next week. But again, all dependent on the Mini's backstory. Totally cool stuff, completely different level of Mini painting. Please come back, Cullen's gonna be here again. We're gonna have an amazing time. It's, yeah, taking it to a whole nother level. So join us next week. And remember, every true masterpiece started with a single brushstroke. Thanks.